Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of Today's Youth. And today we're delighted to be joined here at the studio by Salma Al-Shamandi. Salma is a student at the American University in Cairo. She's studying integrated marketing communication. She will tell us more about the different activities that she's performing. I think she's a multitasking lady. Thank you very much for joining us, Salma.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Salma, I think you're a multitasking lady, right? You're studying and at the same time you have a lot of activities, as I see from your CV.
I don't aim to be a multitasking, it just happens. I'm very curious about a lot of things and I try them. So it ends up being multitasking, but that wasn't my intention.
How are you able to manage between your studies and I know AUC, you have a lot of deadlines to meet, exams all the time, papers. How are you able to manage your time?
It's hard not to be interested in student activities when you see a lot of fun going on, you see a lot of groups you want to join, you see a lot of activities you want to learn about. I see a lot of things I don't know how they're going and I want to learn. And I join, and it starts off, you remember, you don't have a lot of tasks, it doesn't take a lot of time. But then with time, you learn more, and you start to be, you're either more interested, and then you're doing something you love, and you will find a way to manage the time, or you're not interested, and you leave it and go somewhere else and do something else and try something else from the very beginning. But if you are interested, you'll find a way to manage, and that's,
I think there is a will, there is a way.
Exactly, exactly. All the student activity leaders in this university and any other university, most likely you'll find them even better at school. They find a way to deal, they communicate better, so they find a way to talk to the professors. Sometimes the doctors are more understanding, sometimes they're not, but they find a way.
Yeah, Salma, you're studying integrated marketing communication and you're minoring in entrepreneurship, right? Why did you choose IMC, or integrated marketing communication, and entrepreneurship, this combination?
I started off with my major, and I was very interested in all the media related majors. I was very interested in journalism and TV and everything, and then I chose this one because I feel like I don't know anything about it, and I have a lot of misconceptions about it, so it would be most beneficial for me if I major at it. And it's a small major, and it allows me a lot of learning opportunities with it. So along with a major like marketing or communication, you have to be very diverse with your knowledge. You have to take courses from other fields as well. And that's why communication, why entrepreneurship comes in. I'm very interested about like how things start. That's why entrepreneurship is much better than business for me, because you learn about how to start a business. You have an idea, okay, great, now what?
Yes.
What you do next, and that's what entrepreneurship is. That was very interesting for me.
Salma, you had a very important role in the first edition of the AUC Film Festival that was held at the university, very recent, last week, I think.
Yes, last Friday.
Tell me more about this experience and tell me about the film festival, the AUC First Edition Film Festival. How was it?
Okay, so I am the Vice President of Theatre and Film Club. And Theatre and Film Club has collaborated with the Student Union at AUC to create this event, which is the first edition. It's a huge event and it interests everyone who's interested in the film industry. All students dream of joining and being recognized at a film festival and being trained, and having this experience is a wonderful experience for any film lover. So we collaborated to start this event, and we're hoping that it continues for many, many years. It was thankfully a success. It was a lot of the films that were submitted from all around Egypt, all around the universities in Egypt, not just AUC, were great. We were very, very pleased with the feedback of the jury members that we received about the screened films. We only got to screen 5 films out of all the submissions,
yes,
because of the time.
And who were the jury members?
The jury members were Dr. Mervat Abu Auf, our advisor at the university and a great support for all of us.
Well known.
And Mr. Tamer Habib, the scenarist. And we had Sandra Nashat, the director, but unfortunately she couldn't make it to the event. We got Ustaz Andrew Mohsen, who's the artistic director at Cairo International Film Festival. And finally, we got Mr. Mohammed Al Adl, the producer.
Great, all renowned people in the cinema industry. Tell me, what were the most important films that participated, and how was it? Tell me more details about the films.
Okay, so the films that are being submitted, they had no criteria. They didn't have any restrictions regarding the topic. They only had one restriction, is the duration of the film, from 3 minutes to 15 minutes, so they had to be short films.
Yes.
The winning film was called Hidayah Mama, and the winning team was from Faculty of Law at Helwan University. And the winning film was talking about autism as an issue, and it was a very sensitive story about a boy trying to get his mother a gift, and went on a journey alone in the street, and he had autism. It was very sensitive, emotional film, and I think everyone loved it. Everyone thought it was a masterpiece.
Right. Salma, you were, as a vice president of the Theatre and Club, the Theatre and Film Club, yes. You were in the selection of volunteers for this event. How was this selection, and did you have a selection criteria that you went through?
Theatre and Film Club last year in December was responsible for volunteer selection for the Cairo International Film Festival, which is, of course, the biggest film festival in Egypt. Everyone dreams of working there, and it's a huge experience, not only artistically, but also organization-wise and learning-wise. And we were lucky that we were the ones, me and my partner Salma Kishk, were the ones that were responsible for choosing the volunteers. We interviewed them, we trained them, we prepared them for such an event.
Did you have a preset selection criteria?
We choose organizers based on their overall way of speaking, how are they with stress, how are they with time management, because it was right before finals at AUC. Yes. So they had to have a lot of time management skills. Yes, yes, crisis management, big scale events usually have a lot of crises, unfortunately. And new volunteers with no experience might find this very difficult. So we were looking for experience at events. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is this the first time you take the responsibility of such an important event? I mean, it's not an easy event to sponsor. It was students.
Yes, it was the first time for us to do something, especially outside of the university. At the opera, at a venue we're not familiar with a team we don't know. It was very hard.
It was not inside the venue of the university?
No, it was the Cairo International Film Festival at the opera in Zamalek and at AUC Tahrir, which is still an outsider venue because we're in another campus.
Yes.
So it was not an AUC event. It was the festival, and naturally we were very nervous. We trusted our volunteers so much. We knew they were gonna do great, but we didn't know what to anticipate. It was the first time.
also organize film, acting, filmmaking, and the casting events. Tell me about those events. How do you organize them, and how do you choose? How do you make the casting? I mean.
Okay, so primarily at TFC, other than the events that we occasionally do and they differ from one year to another, we have one primary function, which is the workshop. We give acting and filmmaking workshops. So we have acting for beginners, advanced acting, filmmaking workshop for people who wants to learn more about script writing, filmmaking, cinematography, all of that. So these are our main team. We have an artistic director who has his own coaches, and they give the workshop once a week for the entirety of the year. And then we also do screening events with collaboration with multiple production houses. For example, we have, in this month, we have Captains of Za'atari film screening.
Yes.
It's a great, amazing film about refugees in Jordan. It will be screened at the AUC New Campus this month. The date is not selected yet, but this month, hopefully.
Yes, when you screen such a film, you also have a discussion after the film?
Of course, we invite the entirety of the crew, and we have a Q&A after the event.
Why did you choose studying IMC, and how does the study of integrated marketing communication help you in sponsoring and organizing such events?
Of course it helps. I don't want to say that my major is the main factor that helps any student organization to perform better. A lot of our greatest leaders were from engineering backgrounds, economics backgrounds, artistic backgrounds. So there's no specific backgrounds that help student organizations perform better. As long as you're interested, as long as you're willing, you can do it. Marketing, of course, has been very helpful for me. I understand the club actually has helped my major more than vice versa. The club has taught me a lot about the industry. I'm probably here because of it.
Yes. Right. Salma, you're one of the people responsible also for Claquette Film Making Boot Camp at AUC. Tell me more about this event, and how was it? How successful was it? How did you benefit from this experience?
That was an event that we did last year. That was difficult because we had COVID around, so big scale events were not easy. They required a lot of precautions, a lot of restrictions, and that had to be very well organized. And Claquette is a filmmaking organization, and they do this event annually. Last year, we collaborated to bring it to AUC. And the benefit was that the bootcamp will be at AUC, and our teams will get to join. So our filmmaking workshop will have an opportunity to participate with great people from the film industry. They will learn a lot from them. They will have this opportunity to enter a challenge, create films, actually get critiqued by jury, actually get in the field, not just stay at the workshop where we're all comfortable around each other, we all learn from each other. It's very easy to do that at university. It's very hard to go to the outside world. And the event was thankfully very successful. There was a 48-hour challenge where all participants do a film in 48 hours.
Yes.
Create the story, shoot, direct, everything in 48 hours. Very difficult.
Yes.
But thankfully, it was a great success.
As I see, Salma, you have a very special interest in cinema and filmmaking industry. Are you planning for a career in this field?
I actually don't know. I actually don't know. It's very early for me to say so. I cannot claim that I know a lot about the industry. I think I'm open to explore a lot of the fields, but I don't know.
Right. You contributed also to organizing a lot of events related to the inauguration of presidents, commencements, of course, graduation ceremonies, and so on. How did these events and the contribution in such important events help you and add to your personal skills?
Okay. So at the American University in Cairo, we do not usually, you can join a lot of activities at the same time. So you don't have to stick to one entity and just be there for 4 years, although that's what I did. But so one other thing that I'm doing is being a part of the Student Ambassadors Program. So we help the university, the actual offices of the university, with the representation and organization of various events that the university itself are organizing. So one of them is the commencements. We help with the organizations of that. And another important event that we had this year is the inauguration. We had a new president coming in, so a lot of celebrations, a lot of important guests. A new Mr. Ahmed Dallal.
Yes.
And
He's the first president of AUC from an Arab origin.
yes, exactly.
Yes.
And that brought a lot of interest, and that means that there will be a lot of guests coming, and the hospitality and welcoming of these guests are our responsibility.
You're also a coordinator for the international conference, Better Understanding for a Better World. How was your experience in this coordination?
So actually, I was an attendee to the conference when it was taking place in the US. I was an exchange student in the US in high school. And I attended.
You went to an exchange program?
Yes.
At
I went,
the United
was,
States?
yes, it was called the YAS program. It's a
Yes.
fully funded,
During your high school years?
it was a fully funded high school exchange program. And we go out for a year. And we stay
Yeah.
with the host family, and we go to school, and we do everything.
Yeah, I know this program. You went in the last year of high school or previous year?
No, the previous year,
The previous year.
yeah,
So
grade
did-
11.
You didn't take the American diploma from there? You
No.
came here and you took it
No.
from here?
Came here and I finished my ثانوية عامة.
I went back to ثانوية عامة.
I went back to ثانوية عامة, yes. So when I was there, I was invited to the program. It was a great experience. And what they do there is gather people from different faiths, different backgrounds, all countries, a lot of countries, not all countries. But, and we just talk about everything, all the questions we have, no boundaries, we learn, we actually are curious about understanding each other, and we understand a lot about issues in the world that we had no idea about, right? If I was talking, I would definitely be talking about Palestine, Middle East, Iraq. When someone from India is talking, they're talking about Kashmir, completely different topics that I had no idea about. And
Yes.
we learn from each other.
You learn, yes.
And that's why we decided to bring it internationally and create different versions of it outside of the United States. And now we're trying to bring it to the Middle East.
Right, in line with what you've just said, then you think gathering people from different countries around the world, like, for example, that we saw here, the International Youth Forum, for example, gathering youth from different countries around the world in one place, how important and beneficial is this to the youth? To exchange their experience, as you said, their knowledge, and to create a bond among youth from different countries.
As you said, you just mentioned everything I wanted to say, but as youth, we all have visions for the future. All youth around the world have visions for what their country will be in the future. And we think that we know everything because we're young and we're stupid, so we think we know everything. And talking to someone else with similar issues, and that we would be surprised that they have similar issues. Someone from a completely different continent, we have similar issues, we have similar dreams, we have similar visions. Why, at the end, we have to reach the conclusion, why don't we work together? Why don't we just join efforts? Why don't we talk it out? And suddenly all the issues around the world would seem very stupid, very unreasonable.
Yes.
So I think more intercultural programs are needed, especially in Egypt.
Yes, right. Salma, you have a very important experience in your life, which is the US experience, studying in a different country during your high school years. You're still young, you're still 17 years old.
Yes.
You lived with a foreign family in the United States, and you went to a school over there. How was this experience, and what did it add to you on the personal and academic levels?
I think that was my life-changing, like how everyone have a life-changing moment. That was my life-changing moment where I learned that I can be a completely different person and renew everything in myself and learn from different people, and that would be fine. And I'm very, very thankful for my family who supported me to go to some program like that, because naturally if they didn't agree, I wouldn't have gone.
Yes.
So they were very supportive, very very encouraging of the fact that I want to learn, and they see that and they encourage that. And when I went there, when I went there, I decided that I changed my career in my head. I called my mom and I was like, I don't want to be a science part in the ثانوية عامة anymore. I want to be literature. She was fine with that. I called her and I was like, I don't think I want to take biology in school anymore. I want to be in theater and choir. She was fine with that. She allowed me to experience everything.
So you were encouraged by your family and specifically your mom to go to the US and study over there. You were encouraged by her or supported by her when you changed your mind about the fact that you don't want to study science and study medicine, for example, and that you want to study art and study integrated marketing communication, for example, or advertising. It's a totally different path of life.
Yes, and they were, both my mom and my father were very supportive.
Great.
I can't deny him the honor. When I was there, so it's a very selective program. And
yes.
Only 50 students go every year out of a lot of applicants. And before we leave, we get to train a lot. We get to go to camps, selection processes, all of that in order to be selected at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say even just the selection period was very beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting different people, and we're from all Egypt, learning about their cultures, which is my culture, but I didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had no idea how people in Sina lived. I don't know. I was a high school student.
Yes.
Just this experience is very, very empowering.
Yes.
And you go to different camps at cities you have never been, and you're alone and you're independent, and you learn to take care of yourself. And then you go, when you travel, of course, it's a lot of experience. You have to actually, they teach us that we're the ambassadors of a culture. That
yes.
We will go to cities. I was in Indiana,
mm-hmm.
a rural city in rural state in the United States. They've never met a Muslim, they've never met an Arab, they've never met a hijabi, their understanding of Islam is what they see on TV, which is not very good.
Yes.
So
you had the chance to talk to them about yourself, to let them know you more.
Yes, and they were very open.
So you represented your religion, you represented the Arab community, you represented Egypt, of course.
For a while, yes.
You were an ambassador for your country.
Surprisingly, it was very stressful at the time. I had to watch everything I say, watch everything I do, because I was very aware that they're looking at me and they're grasping all of this information about me. I didn't want to give the wrong information, but yeah, thankfully it was fine.
Right, Salma, we'll just go for a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and once again with you, Salma, you have a lot of aspirations, of course. Among your aspirations is to work in the field of advertisement and to have your own podcast.
Yes.
Tell me more about this.
So I love to talk, and I found a way to make a living out of it, apparently. I want to be useful through a podcast,
okay.
And I'm planning to produce one soon.
Okay.
And working in the advertisement is aligned with my major,
mm-hmm.
So my IMC major. I want to work more in the advertisement field, in the creative industry. I love to come up with ideas. I just love to see something and I know what will make it better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hopefully that's the next step. I don't know what's next though.
Mm-hmm. Salma, you're now a graduating senior, so you're graduating in May, this coming May. Tell me, what are your plans, your immediate plans, short-term plans after graduation?
So since I'm not originally from Cairo, I'm originally from Alexandria. I'm planning to actually move to Cairo.
Okay.
Because I'm currently staying at the university residence.
All right.
So first of all, I have to move in.
You're staying at the dorms?
Yes, I'm staying at the dorms.
Yes.
And then I have to actually decide what career I'm going to end up in. I love event planning. I love advertisement. I love writing. So I'm open to a lot of things, and I believe that the right chance will come to me. I don't have to chase it.
Right. Finally, Salma, what's a word or a message that you would like to deliver to the youth from your place here?
I know when we talk about activities and events and accomplishments in university, it can be very stressful for someone who hasn't done all of these things. Like, how do I find the times? I have a lot of assignments. That's very true. It's like when we look at someone's LinkedIn profile and we see them president of, I don't know, it's very stressful. And you shouldn't be stressed. It's much more simple. All you have to do is find something you're passionate about, curious about, and go for it. Go for it, and if you don't like it, leave it. It's that easy. Yeah. You don't have to stress. You don't have to push yourself because someone told you it's the best thing to join this club or this entity or this activity. There is nothing as such. There's nothing as pleasurable as actually following what you want to do. That's it. Thank you.
Great. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Salma. You're really very enthusiastic, and I'm looking forward to see you something very important in the field of advertisement very soon.
Thank you so much.
All the best of luck, Salma. Thank you very much for joining us. And dear viewers, with this we come to the end of this edition of today's Youth. Many thanks for watching, and don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, goodbye.